Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Free the land.
Free the people.
By any and all means necessary. I'm General M.Y.
I'm Brother Black Cloud.
I'm Brother Lindsay. And I'm Mama Nifa.
Coming in from the Miami base, this is Universal Underground Railroad News.
Black Power family, good evening. I'm Brother Black Cloud, and I'm going to do a brief Miami history session. Because a lot of times, in order to get where you're going, you have to know what happened in the past. And a lot of people don't know Miami is very, very deeply black power rooted. You understand? So here we go. That last segment that I touched down with you, family, I challenged everybody out there, people who stay in Miami, especially the people staying Overtown, to tell me the name that Overtown was called before it was called Overtown. I hope you did your research. Anyway, here's the answer. Before Overtown was called Colored Town. Colored Town, for all the towners out there, it was called Colored Town. And we was 100,000 strong. Everything was black owned. We had everything we needed. The supermarket, everything we had, we needed. And we was lovely over there. They started calling it Overtown when they started to build the expressway over it. Very disrespectful, but when they built the expressway over it because they want to ride over us instead of coming through Overtown, then it was called Overtown. Now let's move on. Whatever I say, remember to do your research. We have a place called the Hampton House. Y'all familiar with it, but it has history that goes with it. And have a strong, beautiful history. The Hampton House. That's where all the stars, it was a hotel, that's where all the stars stayed at who came down, because they can go on Miami Beach and perform. Like Muhammad Ali, he can go over there and fight, but he couldn't stay on the beach. I say to that brother, he couldn't stay on the beach. James Brown could perform, Nat King Cole could perform, but they couldn't stay on the beach because it was segregated. So they had to come to the hood. So this is where they stayed at. And Martin Luther King, do the research, he started his I Have a Dream speech off at the Hampton House. So we're very deeply rooted down here in Miami. Okay. Another brother, Joseph Caleb. We ride by the Caleb Center every day. I know you do. And that brother was a strong brother. He fought for black rights. He got a lot of black people jobs. And he had so much power where he could come on a job site and just shut it down if it wasn't enough brothers and sisters working on that job site. So respect to Joseph Caleb. And they assassinated him. He was found in his car dead. Gwen Cherry Paul. You know what I'm saying? I never knew. I didn't know. I'm just learning. But Gwen Cherry was a strong sister. She was an activist. She fought for black women's rights. She fought for black men's rights. She got a lot of people jobs. She helped a lot, did a lot in this community in Miami. And we should remember her. I say to Gwen Cherry. And y'all do the research. Let's move on to James E. Scott Projects. Another strong brother. He was the first one to start Liberty Square, to run that. He did a lot in the community. Do your research on James E. Scott. I got another question for you. Who was the first black millionaire in Dade County? First black millionaire in Dade County. Powerful brother. His name was Dorsey. We ride by the Dorsey Skills Center every day. He left that land so they can build that school, and he did so much in Miami. So we should remember that brother. I say to D.A. Dorsey. Okay. Now, we just did a quick, brief history moment. Now we're going to move on. My next subject, when I touch back down, family, we're going to be dealing with the level of them taking the elders out of the house. It's something called the old folks home, which they started back in the late 70s, where they started to take a grandma and all them out of the house to keep all that wisdom from around us. So until then, I'm out. Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
And I would like to add to that, as far as those brothers and sisters that my comrade just mentioned, is in the graveyard that's located in Brown Sub. And guess what? That graveyard is in shambles. That graveyard, it looking bearable. They disrespect that graveyard, not even realizing that our ancestors that shaped the city of Miami is in that graveyard. And speaking of Miami, Miami got maybe over 1,000 churches within our community.
That's right.
The biggest church is what it is, New Birth Baptist Church, that's ran by Reverend Curry.
Got four ATM machines in there. Four ATM machines. Black power, go ahead.
And I don't got nothing against you, brother. Matter of fact, I was working at your church one summer. Matter of fact, the year 99. And I appreciate that, because I darn sure needed some school clothes. But let me tell you something, my brother. I don't think you or your other colleague pastors doing enough to help us maintain our community. Because as you can see, we still in a serious situation. And you know, we have leaders like yourselves ain't doing nothing. We just want to know where you guys at, or what you go do. If that answer is gonna be nothing, guess what? We just may have to step up. We just may have to step up, and you guys just may have to move out the way and let us take care of our peoples in our community the proper way. Black power.
Black
Black
power.
power.
Black power.
Black power.
I got one more thing to say, family, and this is a send out to all the Miami entertainers, all the the big money people, all that type of vibes. Can y'all build us a black-owned a supermarket, like for real, a black-owned supermarket? I think that'd be real good. We tired of shopping with Arabs. We tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So we need to make some changes out here, family. Black power.
Black power.